Hey Scrap Bosses, I'm back with another process video featuring this 12 by 12 layout called Love to Dance. My daughter recently began dance classes again after a lengthy break. In fact, we hadn't enrolled her in dance class in over 4 years. She decided she wanted to take ballet, and I was so excited because I used to take dance classes when I was her age and a little bit younger, up until I was in junior high, and she absolutely loves it. So I love being able to share my love of dance with her. So I am using a Felicity Jane kit. To be honest with you, I have a ton of Felicity Jane kits sitting around unused. So I decided I need to use these kits. This is called the Rebecca kit. The reason why I love this kit so much is because it has hues of brown and golds, and it's just gorgeous. As with all Felicity Jane kits, you get a stamp set. With this one, you have some pockets that you can use for journaling, or you can put little journaling pockets in. Also some die cuts, some rubber charms, these really fun vellum hearts, as well as two font stickers. This one is gold foil, and then the other one is a white puffy sticker. So to learn more about the Rebecca kit, make sure you click on the link in the description. I'm going to get started with this 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper, and while I love the design, it was a little much, and I probably wouldn't use it any other way, so I just decided to use it as a border. And on top of that, I went ahead and put a piece of heavy white cardstock. My photos are 4 by 6, but I did trim them down just slightly. I'm also going to add in one of these pockets. Now, what's cool about these pockets is that it's not 100% enclosed. In fact, the backing is open, so it makes it easier for you to adhere it to the layout and to slip in any type of pocket card. Before I adhere the pocket, I'm going to go ahead and get this photo popped up on some foam squares. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the double-sided tape right off the pocket. That comes already complete with all the pockets in that pack. So I'm going to take off the tape and adhere it and see that it's open there in the back. And that adds a little bit of flexibility depending on what it is that you want to put in your pocket. Now, initially, I thought I was going to put the journaling. I was going to do some hidden journaling. And then I forget about it and I draw journaling lines on the layout. And then I just decide to use the pocket as a decorative element. In fact, I'm going to layer some things on. Before I start embellishing, I'm going to get the title down. So I'm going to use the word love from the gold foiled thickers, or not thickers, that's not thickers, obviously. The gold foiled little phrase set. And then I'm going to add in the white puffy stickers to spell out the words to and dance. I'm going to try to get these on as straight as I possibly can. I don't have an eye for straight. And while I'm getting these on, I'm trying to decide at this point what some of the embellishing is going to look like. I want to create sort of a vertical layer of clusters going down the page and between the photos, but I also want to create a cluster on the vellum pocket. So I'm going to break out the die cuts that come with the set, and with a lot of the Felicity Jane embellishments, there's lots of floral die cuts and labels, and there's some other die cut designs as well. I'm going to add these two hearts, one at the top, one at the bottom. The top one is more of a hunter green type color, or an olive green rather, and then the other one at the bottom is a black with polka dot design. Then I'm going to add in a few of the floral clusters, just tucking things in to see how I like it. I thought I was going to use that tab there, but that's going to go. That's to the left-hand side of the top photo. And let's see, I'm just kind of digging through and just tucking things. And usually, I don't have a rhyme or reason for my layout designs. I like to just place things where I think it'll look good, and then I make decisions from there. So as you can see, I'm moving around the label. I thought I would put it under the photo. Then I thought I'd put the heart there at the bottom to extend that vertical band of embellishments. I'm ultimately going to change my mind. I'm going to put that little floral piece there by the label on the vellum pocket, and then I'm looking for something else to layer it with. I also like these little leaf die cuts. Those are fantastic to be able to tuck with those floral elements. Ultimately, I decided to stick that pink heart right on top of that vellum pocket with that cluster. Now, the vellum hearts are really fun to work with, and there's lots of them. So I'm trying to decide which vellum hearts that I want to use. So I'm sort of digging around. I want something smaller to go towards the bottom of the layout to extend out that vertical band of embellishments. And I just sort of play around with that. Then I put them away because I'm not sure. And I decide to go ahead and commit to sticking these elements on my page. So out come the foam dots. These are the ones that I'm using are by Stampin' Up. They're my favorite. So I'm going to adhere that little floral piece. And underneath that, I'm going to tuck in this leaf die cut. I'm using some Nuvo liquid glue, which is fantastic. It's my favorite. It holds and bonds very well. I'm going to add a little bit of this liquid glue to the hearts. Now, while I'm getting this down, as I'm putting this layout together, I'm looking at the pictures, and in comparison to my daughter starting dance classes when she was in preschool, she looks so grown. I just cannot get over it. I just can't. I'm at that phase right now where it's just it seems like every year I'm more stunned with how big she's getting and how different she's starting to look. But I did find some photos of her when she was little, and it was cute just noticing the differences. In fact, I have 2 photos that I'm going to scrapbook, one of her when she was little and one of her now, to kind of talk about the change, what things were like when she was 4 at the time she started taking dance class, and then now at the age of 9, what her interests are now. When she was little, when she took classes, it was really for just movement and activity and socialization. And now she's taking it because she wants to learn ballet technique, and she's hoping that'll help her with gymnastics because she also takes gymnastics classes as well. So it's so different as they grow. It's fun to watch them grow. All right, so I got those clusters nice and adhered. I'm going to do some stamping. With every Felicity Jane kit, you do get a stamp set. It's a fantastic value. Again, if you want to learn more about these kits, make sure you click on the link in my description. This particular this particular stamp set has a bunch of flower elements. In fact, you can layer the flower elements, and it has the little bits that go in the middle of the flower too. And that's what I'm stamping there, just kind of using it as an extra embellishment. Then the white to me is a little bit stark, that white background. So I want to add a border. Because I'm too lazy to get up and take this layout to my sewing machine, I'm going to create sort of a faux stitch. Now I found another stamp set. This one I believe is called either the Chloe or the Jenna stamp set. No, it's the Jamie stamp set. And on that has this nice little stitched stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and faux stitch around the perimeter of my layout using some Memento black ink, tuxedo black ink. And that goes by pretty fast. And what that does is adding just another element, another foundation element to this layout without me having to actually stitch on there. Now I could certainly hand stitch, but I didn't have time for that. So I am a fan for stamps that make that job easier, not harder. Next up, I grab another stamp set, and I want to say this is the Chloe stamp set. And in that stamp set, it has a stamp phrase that says smile. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right on the label. That's to the right-hand side. That is layered on that vellum pocket. I'm using some StazOn ink because I want to make sure it is fast drying and it doesn't smear. Now this is where I kind of mess up. I decided that I was going to write some journaling lines, but I totally forgot that I was going to do hidden journaling on a tag that I was going to make to go into that vellum pocket. And by the time I realized that, I already drew my journaling lines. And I don't have a ton of journaling on this layout. I say what I need to say. Then I decide, you know what, since I have that pocket already on there, I'm going to create one. So I'm going to take a piece of this wood grain pattern paper from the kit. I'm going to trim that down 3 by 4.5. Then I'm going to take out my We Are Memory Keepers punch board. This is a tag punch board. Very easy to use. It has guidelines, so you decide how large you want your tag to be. You cut off the top edges, and then it has a space here on the board where you can punch a hole. And of course you can create a reinforcer, which I'm going to do here using a We Are Memory Keepers tab enforcer tool. Taking a bit of that pattern paper, the stripe pattern paper, I punch out the brown portion to be my enforcer. Add a little bit of liquid glue, and there we go. I have a homemade tag. I will make sure to post links to both of these tools in the description box below. I'm going to add some ribbon. This is from Hobby Lobby. This is some twine, not ribbon, twine rather, black and white twine. And I'm just going to thread that through the top just to add a little bit of a textural piece. Now, I love these tools, the We Are Memory Keepers punch board and tab enforcer, because you don't have to go out and buy any of these tabs. You can just use this punch board over and over and over again to create as many tabs as you want to of various sizes. So I went ahead and stuck that into the vellum pocket. I'm going to pop up the tag just a tiny bit with a little bit of foam, just to give it a nice little bit of height there versus it laying flat to the layout. All right, so now I find this vellum heart. I need to adhere it, but I don't want the adhesive showing, so I'm going to take some double-sided scrapbook.com tape. I'm going to add that there to the little vellum. I'm going to trim around it and peel off the backing, and then that way that entire vellum piece has a nice coat of adhesive. Now, could I have ran this through my Xyron sticker maker? I could have, but I don't know where it's at. So I didn't have time to stop and look for it. The last stamp set, I believe, is the Jenna stamp set. There's a little tiny stamp heart that I'm going to use as an outline of a heart. Taking my Memento ink in Tuxedo Black, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of stamping detail, just a little bit more, to the clusters. So we'll stamp at the top, stamp at the bottom, and then I try to decide where I want to put this other stamp, either top, bottom, by the heart, nope, on top of the heart. And then one last stamp, I believe, yep, right there by that cluster. Just to add a tiny bit more black to the layout. Then, lo and behold, guess what I'm going to stamp? The date on the layout. Who'd have thunk it? Using my Felicity Jane roller date stamp and some more of that Memento black ink. And there we have it, Love to Dance, 12 by 12 layout, featuring the Felicity Jane Rebecca kit, as well as the stamp sets Jenna, Chloe, and Janie, as well as using a little bit of tools, my We Are Memory Keepers punch board and my We Are Memory Keepers tag enforcer. I think I said tab earlier, but you guys get what I'm saying. All right, to see stills of this layout, head on over to the Victoria Marie blog. When you're there, make sure that you subscribe. And if you have been yearning more Victoria Marie content, some exclusive content that you cannot find anywhere else, consider becoming a Victoria Marie Scrap Boss patron. For more details about becoming a patron on Patreon, make sure you click on the link in the description box below. A big shout out to all of my patrons for all their support. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure that you do. And when you do, click the bell indicator. That way you'll know each and every time a new video is posted. Thanks so much for stopping by.